I wrote a song for a girl I like. It's called Zoe. I know it's called Do You Like It When I'm Sad? See, now I'm less. I spent a long time in my life not being too shy to actually like send the girls who I wrote the songs for the songs. So now I'm like, well, I'll just send her a song. You know, like, yeah. I'm like, oh, what if you didn't like it? What if it makes her like uncomfortable? That's what I used to think about. So then I used to like not even put the name of the girl in the song that I put the name of the girl that I wrote the song about. So now I'm like, Zoe. Sorry that I threatened to kill you. It's been a long, hard year, and I've been lost in my head for a while. No, I wish I could thrill you, 'cause you're a damn fine lady. As for me, I'm only vaguely shady, and I'm still blue, and I'm still stuck in place. I'm thinking back to when we were pals, and I miss you. You know, I wish you the best. You never settle for less, and I like that. Do you like it when I'm sad? Yes, that you're the only one who knows me. I could learn if you could show me Zoe. Make me feel so bad. When I think of how I need someone special, and I push you, yeah, I push you away. Do you remember when we went to the movies? It was a long, hard year, and you've been stuck in my head for a while. I swear that you could see through me, 'cause I was pretty insecure at the time. Yeah, those were damn cold days, but you were fire to me, keeping my heart warm. Keeping my heart warm. Do you like it when I'm sad? Guess that you were always special to me. Yeah, you move me, wanna prove it to you, Zoe. I'm a broken soul, and Zoe, I'm a broken soul, and Zoe, you're so wholesome, girl, and Zoe, I can change my ways, and Zoe, we can turn the page, and Zoe, we can still be friends, and Zoe, I can make amends, and Zoe, you can soothe my heart, and Zoe, we can make a brand new start. Yeah, that's for Zoe. Zoe Karamitsu. Zoe Karamitsu Zira. Yeah. You know, I only finally got to a point in my life where I was like over the girl that I'd sort of been mad into for like quite a while, but I'd be like really sort of way too insecure to even go for her in the first place. Years ago, Misha, not fucking Misha Leggett, not Misha Leggett, not the fucking Misha, what? Not Misha Leggett. What the fuck, man? No, I met her once at like a TEFL course. No, Misha Jade Loft. BMX girl. The Diamond of Sheppy. The one I wrote like a million songs about. Do you want to hear a song I wrote for Misha? It mentions Sheppy, the island. Birthdays I spent walking along to that was way out of tune, but I'll sing it. I'll hold on to the good times worth a few birthdays I spent walking along to what I'm used to. Now, darling, I knew I could love you. Remember the ways we were broken inside. Now I hope that you're happy. Was I when I met you? You were perfect to me. That I could die just to see you beautiful. I say again, I don't want to be friends, I want to be more than that. I look back to Sheppy, I was so unhappy as we wondered why I was acting so strange. Our days of my life, like played all night, got to hold my arms. I was so depressed since our past parted ways. I've been wandering continents, wanting say what I could not for once time in my life. I forget how to live sometimes. Please don't you make that mistake. Finding ways to erase what you said to me. Sticks like thin needles and leaves a tie still on the ground. Will remind me words I said desperately deep in the confines of callous obscurity. Chase me from some kind of stigma, but I'm no enigma. I'm just a boy making shapes in sand for the tide to come play with, take me away. I'm just a boy, don't you hear what I say? Like a million songs, like Who Are You? Because I didn't really know her. This one's for you as well, Misha. I wrote another sad song, bad song, man. I seen another dream going out of beat long. Somewhere where there ain't nobody else. So would you take me where there ain't nobody else? So well, I built a bridge and burned it. I earned it. Long to return. Discern with, but I gotta write my thoughts down on a page. And I gotta find a way to break this cage. And I hope you forget me and let me live a life that's fresh. I met me staring in the mirror, asking why haven't ever got to know this guy. But who are you? I was staring in the mirror, right? Who are you? Who are they to judge me for being such a fucking insecure, like, loser, really? Who are they to judge me? I must be just another guy that would could be a contender for your heart, not just your bed. This muddle gonna mess up my poor head. Well, I never mean to deal pain. I feel pain, and I know the feeling you think. In your pain, you had it hard, I know you have it too. Darling, there's a world outside too. Sometimes I need reminders to be touch sadness. Sadness, I'm too slow to seal your tear, and there's no method in my madness. I've seen too many frontiers. You gotta admit, I'm a little bit crazy. I'd love to be your comfort when your company is gone. I never meant to let you go. The road was just too long for me. And then I wrote a different bit, but I was kind of pissed off at the time. I was like projecting all my insecurities onto like her, basically, being like, it's your fault for like not fucking loving me. But she did. That's the problem. She really did like me, and I really did like her, and that's why it was so fucking left me in such an awful place, being like, it took me so long to realize, I was the wanker. I was and I was just like, no, like I did everything wrong. And like, fuck. But then I just wrote all these songs, and we weren't really talking anymore, so I just all I had to express my emotions were these songs. And some of them were like really angry, and they weren't really necessarily about her, but they were just about the emotions that I was left with. Just like the frustration, absolute frustration of having like this like wonderful person just come into my life, and me just being like such a fucking idiot, just so like insecure, so just I don't know, like I used to like project an air of confidence, but it just really wasn't me at all. And when it came down to like actually like being, like getting close to anyone, I just couldn't do it at all. Like I was just like I look back to the island where I sat in silence, like just she invited me around the house, and I just sat there like, and we both were wondering why I was acting so strange. I didn't know, she didn't know. So I wrote all these songs, and then after a while, like, I don't know, I just wasn't talking to anyone anymore at all, really, in my life. So I kind of like went to Brazil just to sort of escape the life that I was in. Just like go and tutor English, GeoVisions International. Like I don't know why Brazil has become an issue at all. I went with GeoVisions International to tutor English, and I was sort of just like living in this sort of place, like in Estrada Bandeirantes for like a month with like Eduardo and stuff. And I don't know, maybe I tried to make it seem more like, I don't know, back in the day I made it, I was like I was more into sort of just like projecting this image of myself that wasn't necessarily true, but just sort of like based a little bit on fact, but not entirely like what it was. But then over that summer, or that previous summer, the summer where I just like sort of became free, the summer of Indigo, right? I was just like so free in myself, and I was just like saying like all this stuff that's like my life, my life, all this like stuff that I sort of kept in and like not really said at all to anyone. And I was just finally free, and I was like, oh man, Mikey was a cunt, he fucked me over, and Georgia, whatever, like get her out of here, and da-da-da, and this and that, and like, I don't know, I went back to Kings and I said some stuff on the Facebook thing, which was like, I didn't know anyone would ever fucking see it, except I made it public after a while because people had invaded my life. I thought people were like sharing, people had like seen my stuff anyway, so I just made everything on Facebook public as a kind of protest. It's like, wow, people are like seeing this already, like somehow, so fuck it, just make it all public. And I don't know, I stand by what I said. I mean, like, Mr. Dat taking my joy. I mean, I should have said happiness, but it was. It's like, give me your joy. It's like, there's not much joy in that place. There's no happiness. But Mr. Dat's alright. He's fucking cool. Grange is great, more or less. It's just, I think I summed it up. Pretty much well. I mean, we were the select few, right? We were the select few who, like, we had these golden memories forever. Except there was also like just so much boredom and so much just like just abuse of everyone all the time, but just like more like just like people being just like not really bullying, but just like it's always this constant like every day you wake up and you're like in this place where like you're fending for yourself kind of thing, but it's like there's a lot of fun, but it's like if you're not getting picked on, so you don't, you have to pick on other people basically. Like you just will find someone like, and it all goes around in a circle. Everyone gets picked on. Everyone gets picked on. That's what happens in boarding school. It's like that's why everyone turns out exactly the same, pretty much. So many people just turn out exactly the same, kind of, with this like this same veneer because they've all sort of been chiseled into this person who's like just like kind of like oh yeah like kind of stuff like that, because like they're just they can't be it's a lot. So many people seem to find it difficult to sort of escape that veneer that's been sort of been molded into. But then I don't know. It's like I don't have anything against it, but it's just like I kind of like got a little bit. I would looking back, I would have rather had a stable upbringing rather than just be like shunted around everywhere all the time. And then my parents say like, "Oh, but you wanted to go to Kings." Yeah, but that's because I'd been sort of like already like just gone to like a different school every few years, and then I was like in like a new different school, and I was like, "Oh, well, my brother seemed to enjoy Kings, so I might as well go to Kings." Like I wasn't really enjoying being in Sittingbourne back from like living in Paris for a bit. So I wanted to be in a more like kind of international place. So they went to Bosnia, so I went to Kings, and I don't regret it. I think it was like a pretty good experience overall. But at the same time, there's a lot of I don't know. I still had like a lot of feelings of just like oh man, like fucking this fucking prison, man. It's fucking prison. So like in the summer of Indigo, I just ended up being like, well, you know what? Just express the things that you keep inside. And then everyone's like, oh, he's expressing the things he's kept inside. Let's fucking get him. Let's fucking get him. What the fuck? I gotta write that, but it's really hard to write when you think that everything you're writing is being read and shared. And I'm pretty much certain that it is as well. But no one seemed to tell me where. Like no one, and when I ask, it's people are like, "Oh, like you don't know." But like I've only been around my family like the last sort of like year and a bit, and they're like so indirect. They won't tell me anything. They hold something against me, and then hold it against me even more when I'm like, "I think you're holding something against me," you know? Because from their point of view, they're like, "Oh, well, we never said that we're holding something against you, so how can you know that we're holding something against you?" Kind of shit. It's just like fucking awful. It really is just awful. So sometimes I just think you're like, "Oh fuck, man! I know I'm not supposed to take any drugs at home, but you know what? There's got no happiness in my life, no joy. So I've got no motivational determination anymore. Maybe I'll just like have some fucking meth, because that fucking makes me motivated and determined to do shit." And then they're like, "Oh no, you have to leave," and I'm like, "Well, okay, fair enough." I'd rather be able to sort of live my life and just like suffer the consequences of like living my life rather than just being trapped in a place where I can't fucking do anything or even express my fucking heartache in any way. So yeah. And then even when I do express my heartache in like song and stuff, it seems to be used against me by people who I don't think have like never met me at all, or else they're sort of just maybe they did meet me and maybe we had a falling out because they just kind of took advantage of me. And then at the end of the day, I was like, well, fuck that. and then sort of just started like not putting up with people taking advantage of me. And then suddenly, like, oh, this, oh, that. Suddenly, you know, like, fucking when the whole world just suddenly turns against you, there's like no fuck, and you just don't know what it could be. And you're like on meth as well. Like, do you realize, like, what meth does to you when you're just like alone and, you know, there's like a million thoughts in your mind, and then suddenly, like, a fucking kebab shop, like, puts, like, fucking taints your food, you know? And you're already a little bit, I don't know, I was already a little bit, I don't know, the thing with Alex, you know, like she was 17 and I'd already sort of been like quite, I don't know, I felt a little bit sleazy that I'd sort of got this friendship with this girl who was like quite a few years younger than me, not like, I don't know, 6 years younger than me or something. And like it had sort of been, it was Alaric as well. He was sort of like playing me videos about like, I don't know, the Cookie Thumper, the Antwood Cookie Thumper, and sort of just asking me what I thought about like all these young freshers and all that. And that's sort of like messing with my head, you know? Like, and suddenly like the kebab shop gets in and I'm like, fuck, do they think I'm like a fucking pedo or something? And then like after a while I was like, oh, I've been talking about this shit so long that maybe they think I'm an actual legit pedo. I'm like, fuck. You know, I'm like, shit, man, how the fuck do I get the fuck out of here? And I'm like completely alone, and there's no one else around that could help at all, because suddenly I'm like this and I'm that, and I'm like, fuck, man, fuck. And then suddenly all I can do is just like create. All I can do is make music. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. But then I can't even like write a fucking caricature story of like the events that led up to it without that being held against me. And that might even have been, I don't know, I mean, do you read it where I write it? nakedaphasia.wordpress.com? That's my blog, Naked Aphasia. I don't know, sometimes I think there must be somewhere else where someone else reads it. And if someone else is sharing the things I write, well, maybe they fucking change what I write. I don't know. I think they probably do, given the fact that my running thoughts thing has disappeared. I only just realized that the other day. I'm like, oh, well, I'll see, like, maybe I'll put my running thoughts thing up on Naked Aphasia, because it didn't, like, nothing happened when I put it up on Amazon, and then it got turned into sort of gobbledygook when I downloaded it on my Kindle for Mac. And then so like, oh shit, well that's disappeared. So was my Tender as the Night, Send Me Through the Night thing that wasn't even fucking finished. I'm just in this situation where like, and then I'm the fucking crazy guy when I'm like reacting against all this shit. It's like, oh look, he's even crazy. He's fucking crazy. I'm like, oh man, fuck. I don't know. So all I can do is just try and like reach you through my videos and my songs. You know, check out my songs on my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/typical stray, TYPICAL stray, STRAY, because I just always change my name. So I was like, man, I'm just messing around with a few different identities, you know, because Indigo Soldier didn't work out. And then no one ever sort of listens to my music. No one ever finds my videos on YouTube. So I put some stuff up on Facebook now and again. There's no interaction with anything I do. Except people seem to still recognize me or something. Like when I leave and I walk through the streets, so like somehow, vaguely, well, not like a little bit. And it's just really weird. It's really fucking weird. And I'm like completely alone. And like I sort of sometimes turn on the radio, BBC Radio, and like it seems like, oh fuck, I think they're like, I think they know. I think they fucking aware of me when I tune in. And like, but I can't tell anyone that because that's like fucking schizophrenia, man. Like, that's like so fucked up. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Like, what do I do? What do I do? But sing the blues for you, I suppose. thinking like, well, shit, have they fucking put bugs in my body? Sometimes I think they have. Who have? Well, I don't know. All I could think of was maybe Georgia or like Star. But then I think they're in league now. I think they sort of teamed up. And then I'm sort of left thinking, like, who else has had anything against me at all? And then I'm like, well, sort of Alex, when things were going wrong, like, she kind of like sold me down the river massively. Like when I realized, when I started to think like my phone was tapped when Alex called me up. Well, when I'd been trying to get in touch with Alex when things were going wrong, because I was like, oh well, at least Alex is a friend. At least she's someone who I talk to like openly and like sort of help me through this, sort of like get through over this paranoia. Called me up and she was like talking like she was really young, and like it was really weird. And I think my mum was up at the time, and I was just trying to be like as honest as I could with her, because I was like, well, you sort of hidden the fact that like you were selling weed last year. I mean, like went to Brazil and got myself a laptop, and I told my parents that I was like, oh, working in a restaurant, like, working for the university, canteen kind of thing, because I wasn't gonna just like tell my parents that, like. But then I was like, when she came up, I was like, well, just be honest. Just be like, actually, I was doing this and that, and getting paranoid over like the fact that sort of people might have misinterpreted your relationship with this girl. And then sort of Alex calls me up and she's like, oh, no, I want to see it, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And what the fuck, man. It's so weird because she was old enough to be at St. Andrews then. She was old enough to be in St. Andrews. She's 18 now. She's studying in the University of Brighton. So could it be Alex? I mean, well, she definitely kind of sold me down the river, but would she initiate this? I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe I keep thinking like, wow, Georgia was all right actually, but then being like, oh no, actually, I think she really fucked you over. She didn't like it when you sort of stood up for yourself, And then when she fucking got other people to pack my room, forgetting that she dumped all her stuff in my room for the year, and then I ended up with a bunch of her stuff, and then she's like, fucking hell. Sometimes I think maybe like just Georgia spent that summer like plotting while I was expressing myself. And all I can do really is keep expressing myself, keep shining my light, in the hope that it fucking gets brighter than the darkness that surrounded me, like. So, like that's all there is to it. I mean, typical Stray, I suppose, is my name right now. My name's Arthur, really. I sort of gave up the whole Indigo thing a while ago because I was like in a different whole mindset, different vibe. So yeah, whatever. Let's put this up. So take it easy, guys. If anyone like has anything that can help me out, can you like help me out, please? Send me. I don't know how though, because like everything, all my communications online are go through some kind of filter. I think that's some stalker. It's like filtering everything. So if you even did email me, like indigo.verse.music or williams.rob.art@gmail.com, like, or something like that, even if you did do that, I don't know, would it even go through? Well, you can give it a go. I hope it would. Well, yeah, thank you. And I mean, I went to the police. That's the thing. This is what fucked me up. So it took me so long to actually go to the police because it was my last course of action that I had. I was like, shit, I hope this can resolve itself without me involving the authorities. But then when I got kicked out, sort of I was like, well, actually, time to take my laptop to the police, you know. And I was like pretty spun out then. I couldn't even form sentences. Right? And I was like, even asking them, I was like, can you please like just test me for, like drug test me? Like I was like, please drug test me. So dude, have you ever like asked the police to drug test you? Like fucking hell, they wouldn't. They would, that's like Jesus Christ. Uh, and they just wouldn't take anything seriously at all, not at all. And it was weird because like they seem to know stuff that like shouldn't like no one like they shouldn't know about like going up to London, right? The venue that I would go up to London at to be involved with this like hip hop thing. I don't want to say their name because I don't know. Maybe it's something bad. I don't know because they seem to know about the venue, like, and even the decor of the venue, like what the fucking floor was like. Shit, I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm thinking, wow, is that just all a setup? Is everything a setup? And I'm thinking, wow, every time I've been up to London since I saw Zoe last, when I saw Zoe last in Tottenham Court Road, I was like, oh, I think she's like been. I think the police have like wired her, put a wire on her, a bug on her, or something. She was acting really weird. And like, ever since then, I've been like, well, I don't know, just stop leaving my house because everything's a setup. Everything's a fucking setup. Like, you know. And then when I try and challenge anyone about it, like, no one tells me a fucking thing. And then when I go to the fucking police, they sort of humor me about things. And like, it's like, okay. Rather than even taking any notes down. Rather than, like, what's wrong with, like, maybe just fucking looking through my laptop, for instance? You know? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, just trying to help me out in my fucking complaint? Police? Sittingbourne police? You know, that was really fucked up. And if this does come to a head, you know, I'm gonna pursue them. I'm gonna pursue them. You know, that's because there were three. I remember there were three officers I was dealing with mostly. One woman seemed to sort of be kind of actually a little bit like kind of believing me. But like she was sort of taking a back seat. So you're all right in my books, that lady police officer. But the guy and the blonde woman, they were just taking the piss completely. Like, I'm going after you. I'm coming after you guys. You know? Once this comes to a head, like, I'm coming after you.